What's up guys, it's your boy Standing Desk Dave, and today we're going to be doing another film related thing in a very small time period. We are going to be writing a screenplay in 48 hours, and maybe even producing it if it ends up being good. So the goal for the next 48 hours is to produce a screenplay that is 90 minutes long without knowing anything on the subject that we're going to write on, and also filling the script with completely useless things just so we can hit the runtime. Okay, so I'm going to think of a good concept of a screenplay and, just sit here for a bit, go in my mind, and find like a good story idea. Alright. What's up guys? It's been 10 minutes and I just realized that it's idiotic to try to write a 90-minute screenplay in 48 hours. It's just going to come out bad and clunky. So instead, I'm going to go shave and then I'm going to write a perfect short film. Now you see, a successful screenplay is like a house of cards. With every element that you write, it needs to be essential to the whole storyline. And every card in your house matters to the whole story. Therefore, if you remove any card from your story, it all comes crumbling down. So my entire plan is that my short film contains only something necessary for the story, and I don't want to fill out with unnecessary explanation and filler, unlike some feature films do, because I think it's just a waste of time. So let's begin. First, you gotta evaluate what media you've been consuming lately. And personally, apart from watching TikToks, I very much enjoy a lot of Western. And I don't know, I've been missing Victor a lot, so I'm kind of really wanting to write some buddy kind of action comedy or whatsoever. And you might say, Evgeny, what the f*** you just said? You're making fun of feature films, and now you're gonna write a mainstream feature film, but 5 minutes long. And I'm gonna say, yeah. I think you can write a really good action without being corny and whack. But let's not make a military space colony type thing, okay? Now if you're vaping along at home, I decided to have no restriction on this video, unlike my other film videos where I've been given restrictions. I've been given a genre or a premise. None of that here. We're going full freestyle, which is gonna make it a little harder but also more interesting, right? And so now let's move on to the whiteboard. So let's get started with the board. So what I really want to make is a really friendship type beat. Now I am going to be using the mainstream 3-act system because that's just how it works. I'm not gonna spitball out of nowhere. I will let her have my consultant evaluate the whole thing. So far I think she thinks that... What do you think so far? No comment so far. Let's proceed. Now we're definitely gonna pick a genre. So far we have Western. Maybe I was thinking like some futuristic stuff. Like I had a dream once, it was like about a race in the future, so future race. Now another thing that really matters in your screenplay is a theme. And even though a lot of people neglect it, I think it's really important because that's what separates your film from I just created this because I wanted to create it and I knew what I was doing. And so for us the theme will be yet is undiscovered. As for the genre, I also have one third thing. It's a personal story I want to tell. It doesn't really come from anywhere in particular. I just had this idea in mind that I really wanted to tell, and it actually has a nice theme, and I might even stick with it. And it's about finding a soulmate. I think also an important aspect is that the character backstory that we never really know and understand, but which is still crucial to writing a good screenplay, because only by knowing your character's background you will know how will they react in certain situations. And through reaction is that how audience understands who the character is, because the only thing I hate more than olives and Yeezys is exposition in movies. Because don't tell me how it is, show me. And well, before I forget, actually the most important part of the screenplay is conflict. Because if we don't have any, what's the point? Why are we watching it? Down in the comments I suggest you vote on what genre we should take. Yeah, I'm waiting, no, you go ahead and type. Alright, cool. So if you chose anything but Escape, well, bad for you. And you know why I want to write it is I think a lot of us have the same feeling sometimes that we want to get out of the routine and just, just go. It doesn't matter where. And this is what we're going to write about. And I am really afraid of going into cliche territory right here, but it's never too late to ditch your screenplay and rewrite it. So I think I'm going to get started with this, and if I notice that it's too cliche and too corny, I'm just going to say goodbye. So let's begin. So what is the conflict? The conflict is the protagonist wants to escape his routine with his friend in search of a better place. Yet there's so many obstacles like money and... No, this is too personal. This is too personal. I don't want to write about it. It's too personal. I don't want to write about it. I wouldn't go as far to say that I'm having a writer's block, because I think people exaggerate this expression way too much. So I'm going to go through my notes and screenplay ideas that I have, and maybe something will pop into my head. That's a lot of exposition for no reason. That exists. Ooh! So there's an event that happened to me and Victor back in the day, and it's nothing sort of shocking. We just found a flip phone at work, but then an idea came to my mind about a script. And so I think actually I'm gonna make it now. And I actually even came up with an elevator pitch for it, so I'm gonna write it right here. So as for the genre, it's gonna be an action comedy. And now it's time for the hardest two aspects of my little short film here. Is that I don't know exactly the conflict or the theme yet. But you know what helps to find the conflict in the theme? And this is actually what the teachers will not tell you to do, but we're gonna do it anyways. And so if you're vaping along, if you're riding along, that's also a thing you can do. Now, nothing gets me in the mood for writing like looking at an empty Google Doc. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to start writing right away. You do get killed for that in film school, so we're not going to go all the way, and we're just going to start with the beats. And I've been told numerous times that it's bad to write without your characters known. However, I still want to because I'm crazy like that. And so to get started, we'll write the action. The turn is that they join the mafia. Here's what I wrote already is Sorry, I zapped out of it. I think I know what I want to have already. But let's behave like proper cinema students and finish our workshop right here. So I thought the theme would be loyalty versus selfishness. I understand where the influence is coming. I just finished Red Dead Redemption 2, and I understand why this is popping into my brain. And now the conflict is, I figured out the main premise and the main plot that I want to develop. And that is I think one of the guys will get recruited by the FBI, and then he will have a choice of whether saving his boy or not saving his boy. Like, I'm already getting pictures in my head and like how I want to shoot it and what I want to have in it. So I'm just excited. Let's just get writing. So yeah, the conflict will be from one of the protagonist's perspectives is to sell out his boy or not to. And for now let's do the boring part they don't show you in the videos, and I'm gonna wipe this all off and we're gonna get full on writing. Like my mama used to say, and she says ever since, nothing makes you think better than the chores. And so while wiping this whiteboard, I realized that I already thought of all the acts that I want to have, and so the setup will be right here. Now, I'm a really weird person, so when I'm writing a film, I write it from the ending and then get back to beginning and like kind of fill up the blanks. As a setup, I think I always write what I need to establish because I already know what I want to tell. So we need to establish the connections between the two characters, then how they join the mafia and that they're in it. And the third one is the FBI connection of the protagonist. Now, you might say, Evgeny, that's a lot. And I will say, yes, it is. So that's Act 1. Moving on to Act 2. I'm also kind of getting hungry, so I'm probably going to order some food. Alright, so I ordered some food. As confrontation, now this segment is going to take around probably 5 minutes. There's going to be a lot of cuts, but we're going to make it work. However, this is where I have the most trouble, because I already know the resolution. However, I still don't know what I exactly want in my confrontation and how I'm going to write it. So let's write the resolution then. The choice that I want my character to face in the confrontation is whether to remain loyal to his friend or save himself. As an ending, I really picture a great scene. It's going to be him and his boy in a car. There's going to be a standoff. There we go, standoff. Standoff. Now the TP is a turning point. Now that's a little trick, because we already know that our boy is with the FBI. But the audience doesn't know it. However, the character does. So the TP is when the audience will be like, oh shit, so he does work with the FBI. That is getting spicy. And so as the reveal grows into the standoff then grows into decision that the protagonist makes of not betraying his boy. And then at the end, they get in the car, and in the car, where they realize the consequences of the choices made, they go, fuck it, at least we are together. And you know what I'm going to do? It's pretty controversial, but I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to put it in the computer, and I'm going to let it marinate so I can think more. Nothing is better in screenwriting than taking a break. Because you need it. They find burner phone at work, then they go to a mafia meetup, then it cut. They get caught, so it cuts to black. because it's a fake out. Nonchalant once cut. And so the audience will be like, hey, that doesn't make sense. This screenwriter is an idiot. No, because the time passed and you didn't know. Haha, bamboozled, audience. Screenwriter 1, audience 0. How's my food doing? And while they're fighting their way out, they're still bantering, so that's already building. And then I guess we can have some filler. We can have some time for them to develop, to like talk to the boss. So that's the part that I haven't really figured out yet, and that's why I want to sleep on it for a bit. And then the Act 3, a standoff with the agent, reveal. So now I'm gonna go sleep on this and think about it more, and I'm gonna come back to you, and we're gonna continue writing. So I've been writing for some time now, and I think I'm gonna go to sleep. I mean, it's all coming together. Still a lot of progress to do, so I'm gonna finish up tomorrow. Good morning, gamers. We still have a lot of writing to do. I'm gonna keep doing it for now, and I'll come back to you if I have any complications or anything important. I can't come up with names, I can't. And the names are really important just because once a person reads a name, they directly picture a certain character. And so even certain names, however stereotypical that sounds, will define characters. Alright, so the names have been found. It's going to be Vinny and Eli. I don't know, to me, Eli, like the sound of the name Eli is more fragile, dare I say. The protagonist is going to be Eli. He's going to be more flawed. Flawed in a more apparent way, and he's going to be developed a bit more than Vinny simply because he's the protagonist. Alright, let's go. My favorite challenge and also very rewarding thing to do when I'm writing short stories is to tell the most with the least words possible. To set up the scene so quick and so in such a condensed sentence that people will read it and be like, oh damn. There's really nothing more that I suck at in writing than dialogue. What I personally do for dialogue is that I write what I want the character to say in that line, and then I come back to it and rewrite it multiple times just to make it sound better and to make it sound more like what would that character say, instead of spending hours and hours thinking on exactly perfect line right there at that moment. I wrote until they get caught, so these two are actually crossed out. These are done. So far we have 3 pages. And so that's fine. So I'm probably gonna make it 11 to 12 minutes now. Alright, I'm checking back in. I finished completely the setup, so all these 3 things are done. Now I'm going to the hardest part probably I'm gonna find a filler that is à la fois useful, yet also establishes more of a setup until the reveal happens and the standoff happens. And what I'm struggling right now with is, I don't know about character development for both. Well, I know about Eli, he obviously chooses his friend despite everything, but the problem with Vinny is that I want him to change too. I want to have a really nice happy ending or wrap up. So all Act 1 is done. All this is done. However, another beat that I added and then I thought of, Vinny's closer to the boss than Eli. I'm still trying to come up with the elaborate plan of the boss trying to figure out the rat, which concludes in the standoff, which is going to be the climax. And yeah, and then there was just a smooth sailing from there, because after the standoff, it's really easy, because we already know the decision he makes. The issue's to get there. Alright, gamers. I wrote the whole thing, almost. We're almost on our way to the standoff. I'm super tired, but I need to finish the first draft now and review until the timer runs out tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. or 1 p.m. Alright guys, I finished writing. I'm done with the first draft, so I have till 1 p.m. tomorrow to finish it properly and wrap this whole video up. So, see you then. Now, good morning, everybody. I just reread the script, and there's certain problems that I want to fix and that I need to fix, and that is some things just don't resonate very well in the script, and some plot twists are not as apparent as I thought they would be. The main issue, again, is I'm afraid that not every line matters, so now I'm gonna go over the script again and just filter everything through. If it doesn't make sense, I'll just cut it out. And yeah, I'm just gonna make everything work. I have about less than 3 hours. I'm kinda, yeah. Let's make it work. I've been sitting on this for a while now, and I don't know if I like it or not, to be honest with you. I still got 20 minutes to go. I'm just gonna sit on it more. The key now is just to reread it a lot of times and even act it out out loud, and so I can hear the way characters speak. That line bothers me. Okay, actually, I'm gonna go shower, and while I shower, I'll think about the script and actually probably make it better. Alright, so after a 5-hour long shower, I have come up with more tweaks how I want to change the script. But my online class starts soon, and my timer runs out in 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna rush it until I can. Alright, so my timer has run out. We're done. We're done with the script. I'm not allowed to touch it anymore, so I'll just export it and I'll call it a day. I have an online class in 10 minutes, and so I'm gonna wrap this video up later. I didn't record a lot because I was running out of time. Basically what I did is I wrote Una as a more defining character. I created a special style of how she speaks, and I fixed all the minor nuances. I shaped out the ending better, and so the script is now in a very good shape. So I'm really proud of what came out of it in 48 hours, and it's 12 pages, well, 11 pages long. I'm happy how it came out. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video in a bit after the class, so see you now. I'm done with the script, and you can check it out in the description below if you haven't noticed yet. It's there, it's a Dropbox link. You can download it, you can read it. It's just 12 pages, it's really not that big. Be sure to leave a feedback about it. I really want to know how it went out. I want to reiterate again. It's admirable to write a 90-minute script in 48 hours, but I think it's pointless because you cannot perfect your writing skills by doing big, large works where you cannot even keep track of yourself, as I even had difficulties to keeping track of all the plot lines and all the connections in a 12-minute script. Therefore, if you want to practice your art, do small portions of work, do small films, small scripts, small songs. Make sure your core skill is good before you will pass on into bigger things. I just want to make it clear, I'm here talking mostly about people who are just getting started into doing something. I'm not talking about when you already have a lot of experience in the domain. Just wanted to make that clear. Because it's easy to make a 90-minute script about nothing. But if in 48 hours you manage to come up with a very, very nice short script, you can always elaborate in a bigger one. You know what? I kind of want to see more people do this challenge. So if you're in film school, and that's probably the way you found me, so fine, do the challenge yourself. And like make a video about it. I really want to see it. And as a final note, I hope maybe one day I'll produce this little script. So yeah, I'm extremely tired from writing so much, so I'm gonna go work on my script for my school project. You said before me you ain't never been